We created the data center in 1997 to democratize data. And after the storm, the whole world wanted to see New Orleans data. And so we helped identify what were the most pressing questions people had so that we could make that data widely available. The use of data has completely infused decision-making in civil society since Katrina here in New Orleans, and that's a total change from before the storm. There was so much chaos, it was impossible to know who to believe, but we really had credibility not only at the grassroots, but even at the academic level because our standards were so rigorous. We did some really important things like challenge the census estimate for the population because that drives a lot of funding for localities. The data has to be gathered locally or informed by somebody locally because it's impossible to interpret from a national perspective. Before the storm, everyone in New Orleans thought they knew what our problems were, where they were, how big they were, and what needed to be done about it. And the storm really threw everything into chaos. And so suddenly, people with power and money and didn't assume they knew. You know, they wanted data. They wanted to know, well, is the city repopulating? Which neighborhoods are repopulating? And ultimately, you know, wow, we've built a lot of housing. People have filled it up. How much more housing do we need? Of what kind? How much blight do we have? Have we reduced the blight over the last couple of years? So, you know, these are the questions that they really needed data to see if they were making any progress and then also where to redeploy resources. And whether our problems were bigger or smaller than other cities, you know, given our particular circumstances. Folks need to be prepared that this can happen. Everyone should assume that if they've been told that their region is earthquake prone or vulnerable because of climate change or sea level rise or anything, that it's true and that they will have a disaster. And we were told these things and none of us believed it. When a disaster happens, the unanticipated will happen. You will not be able to anticipate exactly all the factors that go into the disaster itself and the implications and the recovery. Cities and metropolitan areas need a diverse economy, an educated workforce, wealth that they can deploy when a shock happens. They need community problem-solving ability and social cohesion. I think that what we've done at the data center and what a lot of people have done in the city has made the city more resilient. The city has measurably higher levels of social cohesion and measurably higher levels of community competence and problem solving, and those are two of the important factors for resilience.